that was May in 1981. We ended up selling everything we had, and we moved to the Caribbean in September of 1981, and we sold our business, sold everything. We didn't know what we were going to do. Dixie had a sense of what we were supposed to do, but I mean, I didn't know. How could she know? I mean, if I didn't know. But we studied the Bible for a year, and after a year of studying the Bible, I think Dixie said, I think we're supposed to do stuff, so we did. Started telling people about Jesus, and they got saved. We started laying hands on sick people, they got healed. We saw the devil cast out of people, which is very real. And we ended up inadvertently, tried not to, but we started a church there, planted it, got a pastor for it. It's still there today in St. Thomas. It's a family church doing well. Then we moved to Puerto Rico and built a Christian TV station, Channel 58. It's still on the air there. And after 5 years of being out of the country, we moved to Dallas, came back and moved to Dallas, Texas. It was at this time that my story really changes significantly in that, I said earlier I was a millionaire by the time I was 35 years old. Well, now my story is I used to be a millionaire. Through another series of God circumstances, we ended up going to Long Island to a Bible school where the director had an old bus somebody gave them. They thought they were supposed to help the poor. And we went up there and prayed for a week, and Dixie and I did. And at the end of that week, we determined that we either probably lost our minds or God was up to something, and sometimes it's hard to tell which that is. But we determined that we were supposed to do this, and we really, again, we're out of money now. We can't write the check. And God provided money for us to travel up there and relocate with the kids, the children, the cat, the dog, the gerbil, mom and dad, all of us. And we started New York City Relief with no money and no experience, but we had this old bus and an idea. And over 9 months of prayer and just, we prayed a lot because we didn't have any money, we didn't know what to do. But we actually started the relief bus, painted it white, and now today we have 2 buses. They go into the city to where the concentration of people on the street are that are needy, and we go to the same place every week. Like on Friday, the bus will be in Harlem, bus number 1, bus number 2 will be in Chelsea Park in Midtown Manhattan. On Saturday they'll be in, Friday night they go out to Newark and to Elizabeth, New Jersey, and then Saturday we're in the Bronx and in Brooklyn. And we're always at the same location every day, so we're part of that community. You look at the first and last teachings of Jesus. He stood up in the synagogue in Luke 4 and read Isaiah 61 about the Spirit of the Lord's upon me to preach good news to the poor. The last message of Jesus recorded giving is Matthew 25, where he talks about when you've done it to the least of these, when I was hungry you fed me, naked you clothed me, sick and in prison you visited me. So it must have been pretty important if that's what he started and ended with. And learning that's important to God. The poor are not this problem to be solved, but they're actually a portal or a doorway to God's heart. And that would be the heart of my message would be to not see the poor as a problem. It's a great relief to know we don't have to go solve that thing, end hunger, get rid of drug addiction, any of those things. But rather, we go out and we actually serve Jesus himself. And in the process, our lives are changed. It's getting that revelation into our hearts and minds that we are up to here in opportunity. We get to do this stuff. In fact, in New York, we've never gotten a permit to do anything. We just drove up and did it. And anybody that's ever been on a missions trip, which you can go on a missions trip like really across the street from here, a few blocks down the street. But when you do that, it takes you out of your environment of what you're comfortable with and what you know. And it really provides you with an opportunity that comes as a result of that to hear God and see God and experience God. And but we have to get past that barrier, like, well, I'm not very good at that, or that's not what it's waiting there for us, but we're going to have to leave, our comfort. Somewhere we have to go at risk, whatever little bit it is. And that disqualification, I'm really believing God's going to lift that off people's lives, that they're going to see, if he could do it, I could do it. And I watch YWAM, Youth with a Mission. I watch these young people who go all over the world that don't have anything. They're 18, 19 years old, and they just believe God, and sure enough, they get to do it. And I thought, man, if they could do it, I could do it. And I think it's true for all of us.